All right, I thought maybe the dolls could use some candles in the dollhouse for the upcoming winter, darker winter months. Stay tuned and see how quick and easy these are to make. Alright, so I've been fiddling around with some clay. This all came about because I was cleaning up my clay table and I made an observation. And I'm sure I'm not the only person that's made this observation. But it just struck me that the ends of some of my canes that I had cut off the ends looked like the top of a partially melted candle. So I thought, let's see if we can make some candles that way. And I've had some varying results, and we're going to play with this a little bit. So before you start, you need to take any black clay and just make a really skinny snake and bake this off. I only baked it for about 5 minutes. We need that, and it needs to already be hard. That's going to be our burnt wick. This clay is Sculpey translucent, because candles, we need to use mostly translucent when we make a candle. I've been kind of fiddling with this here while I've been talking to you and getting ready. I did find that the softer the clay, the better this works. This is one of those where soft clay is an advantage. So I just grabbed some miscellaneous colors of clay because candles come in all colors. So this happens to be a Sculpey red pearl, and I wanted to see how that looked. I'm going to make a couple of different candles here. We're going to play with this and just experiment with the colors. Some of these colors I've played with, some I haven't, so this is going to be tutorial and experiment all at once. So I'm just mixing this together, and we just need small bits. You saw how little of the colored clay I used. This is mostly translucent, and I think the more translucent you put in here, the better. These are straight out of the package, so they're going to take a few minutes to kind of get mixed together, because we need to mix it so there's no streaks. You could probably use any translucent clay, because all translucent clays by their nature tend to be softer than the other clays in the line usually, or they're among the softest. But I figured I had Sculpey, it's cheap, and I know it's really soft. So I make a little disc. Kind of doesn't even have to be round all the way. I've got a couple of tools here in case I need a little help on the top, and I've got a clay knife. So it's not even a round disc, it's just a little flat piece. I've kind of encouraged a dip here in the top. And now I'm going to roll it on my tile. This is one of the few times you'll see me actually bake on a tile, because I can make a flatter bottom on my candle on the tile. And if this doesn't work the first time, just mush your clay up and start again. But as I'm making a cane and making it skinnier and skinnier, I'm getting a fold at the top. You see that? And we're going to kind of make it even more prominent when we get this down to where we want it to be. And if it doesn't work the first time, just mush it back up and start over. Okay, I've got two ends here I can work with, and I'll make it more round as I go, as I make the candle, making sure that was mixed all the way in the middle. And your candles don't all have to be the same height, because they probably wouldn't burn at exactly the same amount, and not all candles are the same height to start with. Alright, so this one didn't get much of a dip in the top, so got a little. I kind of pull that down and kind of there. Oh, it does. This one got I like the end on this one. This one looks kind of cool. Now, the trick, I have found the most trouble trying to get these to stay straight. going to make another kind of squattier candle, I think, with this. And then we'll play with another color. This would be a great way to use up some of those odds and ends of scrap clay you might have collecting too. Try and keep even pressure so it's the same diameter the whole length, and I'm not doing very well at that on camera. And let's cut this one off about there. You notice I'm rolling it as I cut it. It makes it stay a little more round. Kind of bend down those tops if you want to. I don't like that one. So we'll just work with these three. So now take a little tiny bit of clay. We're going to make a very, very skinny snake. Oh, and I need to get out a toothpick. Let's get a toothpick out of my drawer. Whoops. Make a little tiny snake that has pretty skinny, at least on one end. Then this, oh, this one was too long. Okay, let's get this a little shorter. That'll be better. Kind of tuck it inside where that kind of has an opening, and then down. That's your drip of wax. Let's get a little bit off of here. Now, that black that we made, this is our wick. So I'm going to cut some little pieces. Don't cut them too long because they have to stick down into your candle. And a pair of tweezers. There. The thing I don't like about Sculpey is it is so sticky. You saw it stick to my fingers there. So that's our red. Let's see what we can do with another color. Oops. First I need to make these guys stand up on the tile, and they are not going to straighten themselves out in the oven, so I found when I tried to bake these on a paper plate like I normally bake, I had a lot of trouble getting the bottoms to stay flat enough for them to stand up. Now I probably have red clay on my fingers, and I'm not going to worry about that. Let's see. Let's grab some orange. This is just orange from Sculpey. And you're going to have leftover clay because it's pretty hard to mix just the right amount. But it's pretty small bits, so. Now if you wanted to make an unburnt candle, use the same clay mixture, cut your ends, cut your canes so that they are straight, and then use a white instead of a black for the wick, and you would have an unbaked candle. Okay, that needs a little more mixing. And candles come, I think we already said, they come all colors, all sizes. This mixture is very soft. I don't like how the end went, so I'm going to redo it. And that's the beauty of this. You can just remush it. You can't overwork this clay. Oops. Let's see if I can get this formed into a disc kind of shape, a little flat shape that I can then, there. Now it's going to roll. You see how it's already turning on the top. And I'm still figuring this process out because, like I said, this just kind of occurred to me that this would work. And I'm sure it's occurred to other people too. Maybe you've figured it out, or maybe you've been like me and you've just thrown those cut ends of your canes into the clay bag, your used clay, and said, I wish I could use that for something. Let's see what we got. Well, that one didn't do anything on that end. Okay. Let's take a very small clay tool. There. That one may just be so soft that it doesn't want to cooperate. We'll do one more and then we'll get that ready for a wick. But I would say just play with the different colors of clay that you've got. Oh, I like this end. This one looks cool. How about that end? Not so much. See, that one turned out kind of neat. Now, oops, the red one is. Let's take a little tiny bit of orange clay and make some drips. If you want it to, we'll do something a little different on one of these. Oh, there's a good size. I wonder if I can do this without the toothpick since it's sticking to my finger, and I love the way it looked. Perfect. The toothpick to tuck it. And then you can also take a little bit of clay. It's sticking to my fingers too much. Let's see if I can do this. Kind of around the bottom, so it looks like the candle wax is dripped down. And that'll also help you to make your candle stand up if it's having issues. Let's get some wicks in these. See if I can do this without it flying off my table. And I think with some practice, these could turn out really, really cool. I just started playing with this literally yesterday afternoon. There. So I'm going to mix up a couple of other colors of clay off camera, and I'm going to get a few more candles made, then I'll bake them off at about 250 for probably 10-15 minutes, and when they're baked and cooled, I'll come back. Alright, my dolls are going to have enough candles for the dollhouse to get through the winter at least. And this one, I think this one turned out really cool. I took some scraps, just mixed some scraps together, but excuse me, I've got some oranges and purples and the reds and some different whites. This one I think is, yeah, this one I did with Fimo Vanilla, and this one I did actually with a mixture of white and sweet potato. So you can mix any colors of clay. I've got different sizes of candles and different heights, and I'll get some better pictures and put on the blog post. But this is a lot of fun. It'd be a good way to use up some scrap clay along with some translucent and see what kind of colors you get. Now this one is, between cutting it crooked and not having it on the tray, it's really crooked, but most of them turned out pretty good. So I hope you enjoyed this project. If you haven't found the Facebook page, the link is always in the description box. I'd love to see you come over there. Be sure and check the blog post, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.